What's going on, crew? Where did I last leave off at? Okay. So what we're doing right now is I went through the movie Seven. And of course, Seven, this is all about opening the book of Revelation, which is all about the number seven. Because I shouldn't say it like that. It's not what the book of Revelation is about. It's about cleaning up his church, one big last cleanup. It's like the last call, because that's how we receive the Holy Spirit. It's known as a calling. So it's the final call. It's the big call. And that's why the church is divided into seven. It's all based off cleansing. Seven is about cleansing. 2 Kings 5:14. I was very interested in that date of 5:14 because of it. Went down, dipped himself 7 times. We'll highlighted it. That'll make me log in. 7 times in the Jordan River, according to the saying of the man of God, and his flesh became again like unto the flesh of a little child, and he was clean, which is what the baptism is all about. I added 2 more playlists from Jim Brown at Grace and Truth Ministries, who does a fantastic job of explaining that it's not water baptism. And so at TS Daily Bible Studies, hit playlist, and there's 4 playlists there now from Jim Brown that I approve of. Just make sure you stick to baptism with him. And he is also great on election, predestination, blood baptism, the daily cross. Long story. I found myself just about to get into this whole Bible study on it right there. But he does it for you. It's just be careful. He's wrong about demons. He doesn't believe demons exist as we know them to. And it's so biblical. I don't know. And then he's wrong on tithing. He thinks that tithing is still in play. And of course, he looks for donations. But man, is he great with election, predestination, and baptism. And once the Lord showed me the truth about election, predestination, I did a Google search to see if any preacher was teaching it, and led me to him. And then he taught me about baptism, where the Holy Spirit did through him. So, but there's things when I'm listening to Jim where I'm like, that's not true. Straight up, it's not true. He doesn't get hell proper. Doesn't understand judgment, hell, any of that. So he's pretty weak on the book of Revelation, though he is the one that gave me this verse. And so there's the movie Seven. I'm like, well, they're telling you right there about the book of Revelation, straight up. They're saying book of Revelation or cleansing time. And of course, the head got lopped off. And spoiler alert, okay, never seen the movie. And that's what they do. They lop off our heads. And, John the Baptist had his head lopped off before Jesus entered into his kingdom, into his ministry, and then his kingdom, and so on and so forth. And it's like the movie Seven had the lopping off of the head too, concerning Seven. The guy in the movie, the bad guy, was Donald John Trump. His name throughout the movie was John, or John Doe, and they kept calling him John, and they kept calling him John, and they kept calling him John, and you just knew that it was all about Trump. And so he went on some soliloquies where I hope I'm using that term right. Soliloquy definition: an act of speaking one's thoughts aloud when by oneself, regardless of any hearers, especially by a character in a play. Not solo, but he went off on these long thoughts between himself and Brad Pitt. And so I went through those. I taped them for you. One thing's for certain.
Just when I looked at the eclipse, the flower, full moon.
So there's a flower. It's white. Like the moon is white. There's a little red in there. Was this about this past flower full moon? I don't know. We're about to find out in 2 or 3, 4 days, you know, but after a while, we'll just have to say, no, it wasn't. This made me think of the movie Knives Out. And again, there's that 102 for October 2nd or October 24th, whatever it is. I don't know. And
next was 1024 badge. There is a flower. Knives Out, also from the movie Knives Out. Cipher moving backwards from 1024. See if it lands near this.
Okay, good. So we're done with that. Let me slide these over to here. Can't wait to read Joseph Kane's comment. That looked like some good stuff right there. Very excited about that. I said June 5th to June 7th, third day, transfer portal of time. I think I've already shown you all this, that June 7th is the next progression after the one that lands on May Day. It lands on June 7th, which would mean if he does go down on the 5th, which is really building in my mind, rising on the third day does land on a transfer portal date. So it just fits if we understand what the transfer portal is about. And of course, Janus, Tenet, January the month, but it goes forwards and backwards. The movie Tenet, 10 moving forwards and backwards. We discovered the transfer portal of Janus Tenet 2022 for a myriad of reasons, but especially when you go back 465 days, well, when you go forward, it lands on the next total solar eclipse. And when you go backwards, it's when Trump said, I've got it. So that's either when he's going down or when he returns from the abomination of desolation, because it lands on October 2nd, 2020, when he said he had the illness. But there's so many other things the transfer portal gave us where we knew, especially the Gateway Arch. But this year in particular, how I believe it was 37 days it landed on the total solar eclipse. That's the first 37 progression, by the way. And I started realizing that every series of 37s were like a big deal. And that's what helped me understand when Michael discovered the 222, 666, and 888 connections of events to just make it 37. So Gateway Arch date and the other Gateway Arch. And then when you go up 111 days, it's the 21st of September. Do you remember? And it lands on May Day. So, and we just, we're just showing you that the fourth one, the fourth progression of 37 from the transfer portal lands on June 7th. So we're going to keep a big watch out. I believe we already do have a big watch out for that. Let's keep going. I said, let's keep going. Golly. Only me could do that. All right, here we go. It never gets old. 5 seconds. What in the world was it? Was it a right eye wound? Is that what this is about?
What? Oh, Brad Pitt, movie 7, right eye wound.
Got it. I live alone, so I'm really good at cracking myself up. Sorry.
And we know that Antichrist in Strong's Concordance is G500, just like he drove the beast at the Daytona. 500.
Yes, yes, yes.
This guy paid me $500 to bring it out.
500. Who's the guy? Oh, John. John gave you 500. John 500. Got it. Super fascinating. The movie Seven, John is Donald John Trump.
So I'm watching this movie Seven, and his name's John, and they say John 5,000 times because he's like, John Doe was his name. And he says to him,
Back you fucking freak! Shut your fucking mouth! You're no messiah. You're a movie of the week.
Ah, so John's claiming he's the Messiah. What do you know? So they're definitely going through that. And you're like, well, why has he got the right eye wound? And then he is Donald John Trump. Again, they always do mirror images. It's always like a light and dark of one. We learned that with Frank the Rabbit, Donnie Darko and Frank got the right eye wound, and then Donnie ended up dying from the plane crash, the jet, the jet hit the twin Trumps. Blowfield had the right eye wound as he was looking through the looking glass at 007. They're both actually the same character. It's kind of the same also with the Batman and the Joker, or the Batman and Riddler. It's always that split twin personality of good and bad, good and evil, light and dark kind of stuff. Let's keep going here.
so he's no Messiah. We know who the John Messiah guy is, right?
Yes.
Well, check this out too. I'm going to rewind it a little more.
You go, boy.
You can't just tap them on the shoulder anymore. You have to hit them with a sledgehammer.
Sledgehammer. So where is that Donald John Trump? Denver Airport mural.
Check out these pictures.
Yeah. We got you. So where is our sledgehammer boy? They're not going to give us that mural, are they? There, yeah, they are. What I'm going to have to do is save this and blow it up for you. Hang on. There you go. There's Trump with his hair and the sledgehammer. So that's what he said. You got to hit people with a sledgehammer.
Remember Trump on the mural with the sledgehammer, and of course the song on MTV, Sledgehammer. It was
First
all about
video on
what Trump will
MTV.
eventually do and be.
He's going to bring the
But,
hammer.
it gets better.
But the question is, what makes you so special that people should listen?
Oh, because you're the Messiah.
Exceptional.
My work.
So it's his work. It's the great work.
Your work, John?
Your work, John,
Yes.
as Antichrist. And you can't really listen to Brad Pitt's voice or his words. You just have to concentrate on what John is saying.
2 months from now, no one's gonna care. No one's gonna give a shit. No one's gonna remember.
You can't see the whole complete act yet. But when this is done, when it's finished,
When it's finished, the whole it is finished. When it's finished, when this abomination of desolation goes down.
it's going to be.
Yeah. Carnage for the sheep, utopian world for y'all.
People will barely be able to comprehend it.
Yeah. Well, strong delusion, they will believe a lie.
They won't be able to deny.
Won't be able to deny because they will all worship the image of the beast. Of course.
So just stay, his. And this is the final part I wanted you to see.
Yeah, you guys do that?
It's more comfortable for you to label me insane.
It's very comfortable.
It's not something I would expect you to accept. But I did not choose.
Yeah, Trump wasn't born into this world and says, I'm going to be the Antichrist. You don't get to do that. That's an appointed position. Through the whole Rosemary's Baby, satanic world kind of thing, they have their pathway to bring in their false Messiah. But he was ordained from before the foundation of the world, or at the foundation of the world, to be who and what he was going to be. And all these other things with his parents and grandparents, or however he came about, took place. Every bit of it meant to be.
I was chosen.
I was chosen. Trump, of course, said, I am the chosen one.
And of course, we know that Trump said, I am
Yeah,
the chosen one.
Yeah. Twin trays.
And of course, he was. God's ordained the end from the beginning.
Yeah.
It's not like Trump had a exactly, which was to.
Okay, so I went ahead and what the rest of that is. I already explained it. I don't remember what all I say, so that's why I go ahead and do it while it's in my head. Let's go next. The title. Oh, good. It's only 11 seconds. The number 7 is the key number
The
throughout the book of
MPA.
Revelation.
3.
So the number 7 is the key number throughout the book of Revelation. MPA is 33, of course. 601. So it is June 1st coding. 36 is the triangular number of 666. So the MPA, which is what they call it now, back then it was MPAA number for the movie, is 33601. Is that 336 progressions? I think Trump's birth is 753 progressions of 37. Come this, remember 753 was what all the clocks were on. Come about mid-September. So hang on a second. We're in that progression right now from May 3rd, 1988 is when this progression began. So 1, 2, 4, 3, 2, 3, 3, 6 progressions. And a day would have been May 4th if that's what the 01 was about. But I like the fact that it's fused with a 601, the number 336. So I went back 336 progressions. It does take you back to this time of year in the year 1988, but it has a 601 in it. So 336, if I go 337 progressions, .37 times 37, 124.69. Messed up. All right, so we got to go May 3rd. Hang on a little second here. I'll get it straight for you. So I ran it through to June 1st, which is what the URL, which is what the MPA number is, 336. I went, but it's 336 progressions from this time of year in 1988. And when you run it to June 1st, you're still in it. You're still in it. Because 337, 1, 2, 4, 6, 9. Wouldn't we really run it from the flower full moon because it had the flower? Or yeah, I don't know. If you run it from, I don't know. I'm not going to spend any more time on it, but that we're in the 336 progression takes us back to this time of year of 1988. And of course, leading us right into 601 or June 1st. So this is just something to think about. Is June 1st loaded for bear? Is June 1st loaded up? Well, you got an eclipse that bounces on it. You got a total lunar that backs into it. And when Earl passed away at May 8th or the 58 of 1978, the day he passed progresses to June 1st. So we'll just keep an eye on it. I mean, is what it is, huh? Let's keep going.
336.
It was only 11 seconds, so I think that's all that video is about. Let's move on to the next one. 44 seconds. Nothing says Satan like. So I caught the end of the Billboard Music Awards, what that was.
I forgot to record the billboard.
So I caught the tail end of it. I think Michael and I were on the phone. I said, dadgummit, the billboards are on. So this guy is playing some mean satanic guitar riffs there, doing the good old rock and roll. Here we go. So you see all the red color, and there's flames all in the background. And you see the tree. So it's all about, looks like, is it a garden, like the Garden of Eden and the Tree of Life, or the Tree of knowledge of good and evil. So there's your grove worship symbolism.
Thanks. Good old grove. Gee, yikes.
Anyway, very entertaining. So ready to upload there. We did the videos. Let's go through my prep real quick. Close up of the badge. 1024 or Dr. Pepper 10, 2, and 4. And I remember, like, is that telling us dies on October 2nd, rise on October 4th, which is exactly what Dr. Pepper 10, 2, and 4 is. I started that movie a long time ago, and I just now finished it. Rod Stewart was on Bill Maher, and of course, famous for the song Maggie May. And we're in May right now. And we're going to show you that there's a lot of crucial days in May. So I went ahead and did Day of the Dead again. Now, I didn't do Day of the Dead. That'll be next. But as it is in the exact Spanish or Mexican language, since it is it's not a Spanish, it is strictly it is a Mexican holiday. It's their own. They don't want to share it with anybody else. This is their holiday. Dia de los Muertos or Dia de Muertos. It's two ways. And I didn't spell out the whole, what they gave me. They would like spell it out, November 19, though. I just went ahead and jotted everything down. If it was in yellow, it wasn't a date. You get month of August, you get Donald Trump's end, you get this October, you get Taco Tuesday. As far as dates are concerned, and we'll always keep this on the side. Keep an eye on it. You got October 15th, September 2nd, April 6th, March 11th, August 11th, November 19th, March 17th, April 20th, April 16th, May 21st, which is interesting. January 31st and November 24th. Well, the next closest one is May 21st. And if we were to look at May 21st, we have October 2nd, 1988, Donnie Darko date lands right on it. And so does a partial lunar eclipse in 1988. So an eclipse from 1988 and Donnie Darko 1988 and Dia Day, Day of the Dead in the Mexican language, which I know is Spanish overall. Comes right to it, May 21st. And Lily from IPEC Goat 2, the girl's name is Lily. And all of a sudden I started seeing Lily James and had this fascination with starting to watch her movies. And I've been watching a ton of them. One was a series about Russia and Napoleon, of course. Napoleon. Donald Trump says Napoleon, Alexander the Great, Donald Trump are all cut from the same cloth. And so Lily James, I went ahead and said, why don't we just track her birthday? Just for giggles. And she lands on May 21st. As far as what backs into it, Tracy McGrady Sr., his birthday does. His numbers are 156 and 88. 156 is the 9/11 is 156 prime number. And of course, he also has the 88 in his number. What else backs into it? A total solar eclipse on April 20th, 2023, which I believe is the Abomination of Desolation Day. Also, an annular solar eclipse the year I graduated, and also October 26th, 1985 is when they first went 88 miles per hour on the card tag, James Bond movie For Your Eyes Only. Also had 1026 on it. So I don't know if that was paying homage to when they went 88 miles per hour. But so May 21st, it's interesting. May 2022 calendar. Maggie May, Wikipedia. It's released in July. 343 in length. And the album version is 550. From the album, Every Picture Tells a Story. So it is also, April 20th is also on that date. So lots to keep an eye on there. We'll just kind of keep tracking it, but very interesting. That's it for my prep. I do want to keep this, so we're going to mark it as unread. Day of the Dead, I guess, is something I ought to also look at. Not in Spanish. So are we done with that? Okay. So May 21st, I wanted to look at, that's what it was. May 21st is on a Saturday. I think Trump is going to be somewhere on that day. Let me look. I think Michael told me that, or told us that. Nope, it's May 28th. Sorry. Save America rally in Casper. Oh, they're saying he's a ghost by then. So basically, they're telling us that he is going to go down between now and the 28th. That's pretty hardcore, isn't it? That's very hardcore. That's very hardcore. That's what they're telling you. He's a ghost. Now, are they just messing with us? Because that's what they do. They love to mess with us. They love it. They love it. They love it. They can see the future, so they know what we would be doing, what we'd be thinking. But at some point, does the Lord basically throw us a bone? Because that's what it would be. It would be by his grace. It's not anything we earn. I can tell you that. Michael and I can sit around and do this forever and never hit on anything. But if it be the Lord's will to grace us with that, you know, to at least speak on the day, because we don't do predictions, but to at least speak on the day or the day before, you know, and say, hey, this is what's up for tomorrow. I mean, hey, if I have something in a dream, I'll let you know. I dreamed of 133, didn't I? Ended up being nothing on day 133. So Joe Kane, let's get to that. We'll be done. Check it out. His last day of presidency was January 20th, 2021. Plus 500 days lands on June 4th, the same birthday as Angelina Jolie. All right, so let's look at a few things here. I'm sorry, did we just do Brad Pitt at the beginning of this video, and we're closing it out with Angelina Jolie, Mr. and Mrs. Smith? Hilarious. Yeah, June 4th is her birthday. Joe Biden took office on January 20th, 2021. All right, hang on a second. I'll tell you what, his first full day out of office is 500 exact days to our June 5th date. So his first full day out of office, because he was president until Biden took that oath, right? If not, you know, like when you end up with the 501 day, it's hilarious because Trump and I are 501 days apart. And of course, 501 is also, if you include both dates, you get the 501. And 501 is May Day. That is May 1st or 501. So it's very interesting. I appreciate Joe turning us on to, you know, we can all jog the numbers around however we want, and or jog around last full day as president, last day as president, first day of not being president, or first full day of not being president. So you could, there's 3 days that you can play with there. And then Joe said, she's the girl in iPad Goat 2 waving the white flag. Yeah, good stuff. Hearts all over the place, my friend. Thank you for sharing that with us. His first full day of waking up and going, I'm free now to move on to the next phase. What's the next phase? Well, I got to get popped. It's 500 exact days. Y'all. If you include both dates, it's 501 for May Day. Little May Day numeric symbology. So we've done comments. We've done Telling Truth 3. We've done my prep. Michael didn't have any prep. And we've looked at tomorrow. Let's look at tomorrow. There we go. There's always something. I need to make a list. Hang on a second. Yeah, 5 things to go over, right? So I need to make sure we always do that. So today's the 17th. So I'm going to move these out of the way. Nothing happened. Trump announcing he had coronavirus. We don't need to go over today's. Sorry. Let's go over tomorrow's. Now, I did load the movie 7 in. My legal name is pronounced Tully. My son's name, Tully. My dad's name, Tully. My grandson's name, Tully. It was Tully in the Addams family. There was a guy named Tully. It's not necessarily how to spell my legal name, give or take 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 letters. But 7 was released at Alice Tully Hall. And so that date will progress to, since the number 7 is so prevalent for the book of Revelation, and Trump going down and or rising is all about opening the book of Revelation. So one lands on June 30th, one lands on June 13th, and the USA release date of the movie Seven lands on June 20. So yeah, we're tracking them. Fantastic. Love it. So let's get back to tomorrow. Tomorrow's got more items that are really about rising on the third day. But it doesn't matter. These are tremendous movies for us to, that have led us to, and well, let's face it, it's what Shaking My Head Productions and Angel White and all those videos that really solidified who Trump was to us, which I will tell you are AI sites telling us the truth, but they'll also take you down a wrong rabbit hole, so be careful. But tomorrow, May 18th, does connect to a 7/11/2010 solar eclipse, which is one of Michael's strongest eclipses. He couldn't believe the amount of things that bounced off of that. And they all seem to hit on 888s and 666s and all that kind of stuff. Next up, April 13th, 2012, the day the Lord called me out of the, okay. Personal thing there. Back to the Future, released. The Dark Knight Rises, released. No Time to Die, released. Quantum Leap episode called It's a Wonderful Leap, featuring a young Donald Trump. Release or air date. Oops. Can't leave out the it's. So all of those. Now, the 19th, the last girl I dated, like as a girlfriend, kind of dating, scenario. Her number's got the 718 in the middle of it. She's 12/20/1966. 66, of course. She's got the 718, Porsche 911, Porsche 718. She's got the 718 in her number. When you combine it with my number, you got the 886 and another 86. Pretty strong stuff. So I went ahead and tracked her birthday. And hers will land on May 19th. If you include both dates, then it falls right into May 18th also. And I'll tell you what else, if you include both dates, The King's Man US release date had the same ending of No Time to Die with the same lead actor. They were both toasting the fallen comrade. In this case, the man's son, or in the other movie, No Time to Die, it was M, who was the same actor in both movies. They were toasting the death of 007. Same scenario, over whiskey, about 5 people in a room, toast. It was the end of the movie. And they were toasting his death. Same ending. So what's weird is No Time to Die and The King's Man are back-to-back days. Some heavy stuff, man. Is there any reason for him to go down on a Wednesday, the train wreck day? Well, I have no idea. The thing about 518, May 18th is 518. That was my marriage to Candy's number. And it was also her marriage to me number in 2 different ways. Because my first wife, 62848 times me, 82362, first 3 digits, 517. The next progression would be 518, and that's when I married Candy. Okay, and then when you look at me, her, and the kids, so me and her combined, remember, was 455,000,6328 times stepson times stepdaughter, who has the 138, the 88, and the 86 in her number, and you have the 518. So they were my 518 and they were my 518, 2 different ways. I met Candy on October 22nd, 2005. The number for that day was 4411, and it's in me, her, and her kids combined number. So is 4 sets of ones, 33, but at 518, I mean, for him to go down tomorrow would just be because that's what we did. We 86'd the 88. I was her 88 with her marriage progression. She was my 518, 3 digits. I was her 88, 2 digits. It got 86'd. So it would just be perfect in my world, in my head, for him to go down tomorrow. I don't think he will. But if he did, wow, I would just be like, it's so crazy. But anyway, I'm really big on June 5th, but we'll see. That that May 21st looms large, extremely large to me. And he has an event on the 28th, which I don't think has anything on it. Now, we've got 25th, we've got the X Across America backs into the 26th. If you include both dates, it would back into the 25th because it's going in the other direction. So you actually move it back a day. So that doesn't help the 28th out at all, or the 27th out, Christian Bale's birthday. There's nothing on the 28th when he has his event. So like we've joked, that would be perfect for him to go down when it absolutely relates to nothing that we've had on this list that's right now at 110 strong. Yes, I did say 110, didn't I? It's line 111, but that's because it's got a top row that says story backdrop. When you just go to events only, it's 110. When I added the 2 for the number for the movie 7, 2 different release dates. So there we are. We're at 110. Tomorrow's a big day. Trump speaking on the 28th, the 21st is a big day. And then June 5th is really something to behold. All right, love y'all.